Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. I'm gonna talk at you one-on-one in this video. I try to do these one-on-one mental health vlog type things once a month. So we're back at it here. We're right before the Christmas holiday, if you celebrate that, right before the end of the year. So I thought I'd talk about that a little bit. Like, how do we? Because like I'm not inventing the wheel here. The holidays can be really stressful, man. Like, God, there are so many things that suck about the holidays. I mean, there's all right. There's wonderful things about getting together and like spending time with loved ones and maybe giving some gifts and maybe getting back some stuff and just having a wonderful, lovely time and all the wonderful meals and all that stuff. But let's be honest, there's some crap sandwich that comes with it. Just in my own life, we don't have any kids, my wife and I, but we do have nieces and nephews, and we have an extended family, and you got to get all the gifts for them, which can put a financial strain on you, and it can just put a stressful little flavor of stress with your eggnog. And there's also the get-togethers. Like, I have social anxiety, and I know it's just my family, so I shouldn't be so totally flummoxed about seeing them and hanging out with them. But man, I kind of am. We were talking about this just the other night. Like, you have to perform with people. And I think for a lot of people, it's kind of unconscious that they have to perform, but you do. Even with family and friends, you have to be a certain person. You have to be on your best behavior, uh, and there are expectations to go along with relationships. There's. I don't want to say I don't want to say that unconditional love doesn't exist, but for the most part, when it comes to other people, there are some conditions. And that's okay. We all accept that. But for someone like me who suffers from schizoaffective disorder, or for maybe you suffer from bipolar disorder, maybe you have eating disorders, maybe you have whatever it is, all of this can be really, ugh, right? So, how do we cope with that? How do we deal with it? I know for me personally, I need space. I need my own space. And I need to be as forgiving with myself about it, about what I need, as possible. I need me time, for lack of a better word. And, that a healthy version of that is not self isolating. A healthy version of that is not self destructive, because there are versions of me time that are that. To me, it's playing video games, or watching movies that I've seen a billion times, but somehow they still comfort me. Like, I've been on a, I've been watching the MCU, the whole thing, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've been watching the whole thing because it gives me comfort. And this is a stressful time of year. I was also thinking of turning it into a writing project for the blog that I write for. So, I'm like trying to stay productive too. Like, if you have a creative side, that's enormously helpful. Being creative is sometimes not it's all it's cracked up to be. Like, sometimes being creative is kind of a, I don't want to say burden, but I think you know what I mean. If you are a very creative person, you have this urge, this need to make stuff all the time. I do. But as long as you're satisfying that in however small a way as possible, God, there's enormous therapeutic benefits from being creative. Just keeping a journal, you know, just writing out whatever it is that's bothering you at any one time. As a writer, I get to put my life into my stories. And that helps me process stuff. As a songwriter, I get to put my life into my songs, and that's enormously helpful. Sometimes I draw and paint. I'm not very good at it, but that can help as well. So there's also meditation. I don't know if any of you have ever considered meditation. Now, meditation is hard for me because I hear voices, for lack of an easier way of putting that. I hear stuff that isn't there, and I have thoughts that are very easy. Sorry, I wish they were easy. They're very difficult to control, my thoughts sometimes. So that's kind of makes meditation difficult. And I crave meditation because there was a period where I was very heavy into it, and it was just so centering, like on a profound level. But I won't go far into that because that's individual. But there's that. There's meditation. There's creativity. There's your me time and your me place and your special cave that only belongs to you and maybe your partner or whatever it is, where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable and secure, and you can recoup some of these energies, because the holidays is about giving. It's about receiving. For some people, it's about other things, about worship. For me, the giving aspect is totally fine. I'm a giver. I'm not a taker. Both. I'm a taker. But when you give, you're kind of giving a piece of yourself. And that's kind of a wonderful gesture, giving a piece of yourself. But you got to recover those pieces back. So those, I guess, are my 3 tips. Like, I'm going to go write a song later just because it helps. It makes me feel better. And then I can put it on YouTube and broadcast it because that makes me feel better. And then maybe I'll write another book about how being on YouTube makes me feel worse. And then I'll write anyway. I guess that's it for this entry in the mental health series that I do. Please have a safe and happy holiday season. Let it pass by with as much frivolity and ease as possible. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. That kind of comes first and foremost. That's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. We'll see you next month. The lovely month of January, when everything quiet and still. Talk to you then. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, turning the page now. Do me a favor. This is my latest novel. Has nothing to do with Marvel, by the way. I don't know if you're into advertisements that jar you right out of the experience. This is one of those advertisements, everybody. This is my latest novel, Resurrection Mixtape. This is got horrific elements, and it's humorous. It's very, very funny. It's got some romance, and it's got some ponderings on death and the afterlife and what does it all mean. It's got music. Lots and lots of really, really good music. Woo! Makes the world go round.